Dylan left, and then Teddy and Sama had it, and then they just had to rebuild. Don't worry, the RWA will be fine. It'll be fine. And then they left, and then Chris, and then Marlox had it, and then everyone in the RWA said, don't worry, it's just a rebuild. It's rebuilding again. And then Marlox left. And then no, this is Chris Knight's era. And we're still in that rebuild phase for like a year and some months.
It's always like people are like scouting is what I've seen. It's like whether there's constant scouting in the IWA, the UWA, the OWA, it's because either our Fed owner is doing something wrong or the Alliance don't have any direction. And I mean, when you ask the question of what is the current best alliance, in my opinion, well, there is no best alliance. There just can't be. I think that's the main reason people are saying the RWA can't function, because this is the people who say that the RWA can't function. They don't realize that that the RWA does way more than to be the backbone of this community. When people don't realize RWA it's a big backbone. You need levels in the community for quote pro wrestling to work. We've seen in the past moving up the ladder is what makes the community what it is today. So that's why I think RWA has a purpose. My problem is Tycoon, like you just said, is always rebuilding, and that's what every alliance. When are we gonna have an alliance that isn't in the rebuilding phase?
An example of a non-rebuilding alliance, even though unfortunately it's condolences OWA. It was like the go-to alliance back in 2020, but what happened, man? I don't even know what happened. But
from people saying that like the RWA should die, the question needs to be asked. Are alliances making a comeback? You think? Well, there's like 3, which is a step up from like 1 that we had,
I don't think so. I don't think alliances are making a comeback, because alliances will always be there. But my thing is the quality of the alliances that come into question. You can always have like 50 alliances, but if they do the same thing, what's the point of?
I still think they're kind of useless in the first place, to be honest.
Why? Let me hear APA. Why do you think that they're useless? Because that's a bold claim to make.
I don't understand like exactly how they help the federations that they are helping. Like, okay, be involved in a show, cool. The superstar from the roster, RWA World Title, for example, cool. Like, I don't understand how they're truly helping the product of their show.
I'll put it in a different perspective, right? You say that you don't think that they're building any feds. I would say that's actually the opposite. I say joining the RWA, period. This is what I've noticed recently. Or actually, no, it's just like a realization, is that pro wrestlers, it's hard to understand them, but I came to realize people will literally go to only RWA feds to win an RWA title. And that's cool, that's great. I had no idea that was a thing.
That?
Huh?
You just noticed that?
No. Like I it was in like the back of my head, but then I needed to like, push myself to be like, wow, this is a bigger thing than I thought. Like, I knew people would do that, but I didn't know it was as big as it was. But people, credit to them, they just, and more power to you if you want to, but they will genuinely go to there. So, when you do join, say, like an RWA or an IWA, it elevates your fed because you are in, you're in an establishment. But I get what you mean is, like, some feds will just go in there and do nothing. This is my thing about how I think the community should function, You need levels to this in order because nobody can grow if there's no levels,
At least what's been going on is better than what the hell happened in 2021. You saw dozens of alliances just come and go for no reason. At least right now we have at least recognized of 2 or 3 alliances that are going on, running around, and I feel like right now it's slowly becoming better and better, just like the days when these alliances, RWA and IWA, were getting better and better. I feel like slowly but surely we're gonna hit this stride now that there's an owner that's ready to help out and just try to do whatever is purposeful for the alliance. And I think with what could possibly go on, I hope that RWA is back to where it should be. But for now, it's slowly building to that again, and it's way better than last year. What was just a crazy bunch of shit going.
Definitely. People were really skeptical of like alliances just a few months ago. The number I think is a big thing. For me, I think 2 is definitely like the best. You know, you have IWA, you have Jackson's here, everyone. You have IWA and then RWA, and these 2 are really good for establishing the minors, as I call them now. You know, you got the minors and then you got the majors. It's a great level there. The UWA, I could understand if their whole thing is you know, I talked to the owner about it. He told me, I told him in DMs, I was like, what is the point of this? I don't understand the point of this. And he said, well, the whole point is like building, you know, new feds for the future. And I was like, that's a great thing. But I don't know that by looking at your shit, you know, like I don't know what you're doing, but cause like you just have the UWA logo. How am I supposed to know that? Told the guy, you know, have a caption like, I don't know. I think it's like the future starts here or something. And if you look at that, I think that's like their Twitter banner now. But it's a good way to build towards the future. But
I mean, if you look at the logo shape of the UWA, it looks like a bit of a diamond. Maybe it's like that reference to diamonds in rough.
I think that was just a design choice. I don't think they were thinking that deep into it. I mean, like no nerds. For me, I'm a nerd. I put so much thought into the resurrection logo with the phoenix and everything. I can give you a whole detailed explanation, but I don't think so. But here's another thing, APA. I think you could comment on this better. If you don't have alliances, who's going to be setting the precedent? Who's going to be standing the standard? Who is going to be, you know, we just saw, like, what, a week ago, Corday and FO bringing back pedophiles like it's nothing. Big alliances should be responsible for guiding pro wrestling in the right direction. Should they not lead? What would, you know?
I think personally, this is a little unrelated, but I want to comment. I've actually seen a couple feds, for instance, EAPW, the major one, that actually have declined offers from the RWA.
No. EAPW. I can vouch for Fusion. EAPW has never gotten an offer from the RWA, which is surprising.
Based on Twitter, or what's happening on Twitter, is what I'm going off of. I haven't talked to Fusion in a minute.
No, they've never been offered to EAPW.
I'm close to Fusion. I go to EAPW and he tells me like a lot of things. They have never been offered yet. Low key, I think they should be. I think they should be in the IWA, but that's just me. And that's
they've been in the IWA for a minute. Yeah, but I definitely see your point. I think there does need to be a major alliance to, you know, guide federations, but I'm mainly focused on the RWA and how it's like falling off so hard, and I don't think it's meeting that goal anymore.
I think the RWA has definitely lost its prestige over the years, not just because of.
I don't want to trash on the RWA because they like Chris is doing a great job. He's actually doing he's picking up the messes that people before him have done, which is a great thing, and he's doing it because, like, you know, genuinely, if I was in his shoes, it'd be like, yeah, he has to deal with a bunch of people shitting on the RWA. They don't know how much work Chris puts into the RWA and how he's trying to make it the next, you know, like put it back to where it was. So like I don't want to shit on it too much.